Welcome to the jungle, savages. This is the crypto jungle, and I'm your host, Justin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Ethereum and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Can I talk today or not? So yeah, without any further ado, let's dive into the charts because things are actually looking not too shabby. So let's go ahead and take a look. And by not too shabby, I mean there are interesting things occurring. Basically just this. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's get to the main thing that is interesting to me is this volume signature. Okay, so sentiment could not be lower. It could not be lower. So a lot of people are quite worried. And rightfully so. You know, one of the largest exchanges has halted withdrawals, and we don't know what the outcome of that will be. So but you know, the charts don't lie. We can't fall too deep into the trap of sentiment, because one of the laws of Wyckoff is the observations of effort versus result. This capitulation back here, I found it to be quite weird because the sentiment didn't match what I would classify as capitulation. So capitulation for me is a market-wide giving up. All participants have had enough. They're ready to pack it up. They're ready to leave, and they're not planning on coming back. And the sentiment that we had during this dump was, okay, big move down, kind of shitty, but we'll be fine. We just need to find a floor. So there was still bullish sentiment at that time. Now here, sentiment, people are throwing in the towel. People are giving up. They don't want to be a participant in this market any longer. And you would imagine, or you would think that that would result in further downside price action. And we did get a pretty serious move down. Let's not make this seem as though we barely moved. But we didn't get the kind of move that I would expect given the sentiment of the market. So that being said, we have a high volume event that's high effort with low result. The last time we had a high volume event, it was basically a 30% move, and this high volume event, 26% move. But structurally speaking, it's a big difference in structure. And we're not collapsing out of the trading range just yet. So basically what I want to look out for, we'll go on to the higher, remain on the higher time frames for now. But I want to see if we get a recovery. If we get a recovery from this level, meaning if we trade back inside of the trading range and then move up out of the trading range. So if we basically trade back into the 17.5 level. Do I have two of these on? Oops. The 17.5 level, we trade back into the 17.5 level and break out from the we'll call it $23,000 level. That's going to be a very good sign that we actually have reached our market bottom, both in price and in sentiment. But when we go and take a look at the smaller time frames, we are getting a bearish test underneath of this channel as it stands right now. So this is not a great form. You know, this is quite a clear bearish retest. Broke out of the channel, coming for a bearish retest. We need to watch out. If we take out this low, it's going to be continuation to the downside. So two outcomes to watch out for, two possible scenarios to watch out for. Consolidation where we get back into the range and then trend out, or a continuation of this formation breaking below the current low If we break below this current low, it's going to be a big move. How big of a move, you might ask? Let's go ahead and take a look. Easy way to get kind of a generalized target is to just go to the area of the last consolidation, draw a line, and you can do bull flag, bear flag, whatever you want to call it. And we can move that down. And that would bring us to this confluence zone here that we've been talking about for a long time. This kind of $10,000 to $13,000 range. It would bring us down into this range where we could find support. Maybe a wick below, as there would be a lot of panic in the market at that time, but looking around 11.7 to 12.5, somewhere around there, would be the target to the downside. Upside target would be up to 30K, somewhere around 30K. Now, the way that you would determine that, it's usually just based off of the, I got a lot of lines there. You can do the whole line trick again, but the line trick is a little bit different. You just take the width of the range and put it at the area of the breakout, which is going to put you up at that 30K level. Between $28,000 and $32,000 for the upside target. So those are the levels to watch out for. Price behavior is going to be the really important thing to pay attention to. So do we continue on this bearish retest? Does the bearish retest result in a breaking of the current low at 15.5? If that is the case, then the higher outcome is that we're heading down to that $10,000 to $12,000 level. If we are able to reclaim the 17.5, then we have a chance to actually continue trading sideways. Again, the market has really emotionally capitulated. They have emotionally capitulated, but I don't see the follow through in terms of structure. And this is a very, very large volume candle that we're looking at here. So not something to ignore. You know, anytime you get a large volume signature, you want to take a closer look. Gibson's not my first time revealing that. I revealed it in the previous video. So let's take a look at what it would look like on alphanumerics, custom indicator, the momentum indicator, the bull market, bear market indicator. We did get a rejection here at the monthly price. Oh, no, I'm on the daily, or I need to be on the daily rather. We got a rejection here once we got above the 50. We do have a green diamond here on the daily, which is further confluence that this is a good buy the dip scenario. If you're the DCA type, you're looking to DCA into Bitcoin, the alphanumerics indicator can really help you with picking good days in the market for you to be purchasing your long-term hodl of BTC. Your frequency will vary. I don't know how often you want to pick the days at which you buy, but you know, with the daily, you're going to get a fair amount of signals. You would have gotten a buy signal here at 30, another buy signal here at 20, another buy signal here at 19, a few at 19. So you're definitely accumulating at these points, your DCA position in Bitcoin. So yeah, that's Bitcoin. But let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's actually take a look at Ethereum BTC, because this one is very interesting. You know, a ton of demand showing up here. You know, we lost the level and we have a nice demand wick. This is a bullish candle. To me, this is a bullish candle. When you have a large wick on the bottom and a small body, you know, we have a few days for this to close. This is on the weekly chart. So if this closes green, very bullish candle. If this closes in the condition that it's in currently, I would also consider that to be a bullish candle. If it starts to fall back down to, say, you know, 0.07, BTC per ETH, then it's much less of a bullish candle. But if we can have the wick be at least 2/3 of the entire spread, then that's going to be a very positive thing. Taking a look at it on the USD chart, we have a Doge. Doge is an indecision candle. Indecision in the context of capitulation is actually, you know, another signal for a possibility that we have seen a local market bottom. We did just change the green wave to red, so that is a bearish sign for momentum here on Ethereum. And we also got a bearish cross on the alphanumerics indicator, which is also a bearish sign for momentum. So momentum is certainly not here, and it's certainly not in favor of the bulls. But if we can start to tick up and get on top of these EMAs, maybe breaking above this 14, what is that? The $1,700 level, then that'll be a positive sign. For ETH though, we really don't want to take out the low here at 880. If we take out the low at 880, we would be looking at, let's turn off alphanumerics for a second. We'd be looking at a price of approximately back down to that like $350, $550, $500 level. So we don't want to take out this low here at around 880. Take out 880, we'll see you down below 500. It would be my target for that. Now, good news, and this is why we always need to constantly entertain the idea of, you know, momentum shifts. I know sentiment is incredibly bearish right now as far as cryptocurrency, rightfully so. A very negative thing happened, but the DXY is pivoting, and this is a fantastic indicator of risk on. So we just broke below the ice here, ice on this Wyckoff distribution. Now, if we get a bearish test here and a continuation to the downside, we're going to see performance in equities and any, you know, dollar pegged asset. So we're going to see a performance in the NASDAQ. This is on the 3-day. Let's go to the daily. We'll see a performance in the NASDAQ. I would anticipate probably a possible rally up to the 12.8 mark on the NASDAQ. Up in this area where we've had this support / resistance flip up here at around, we'll call it 13K. And then same thing on the S&P. S&P can definitely get a rally up to that support / resistance flip area that we encountered here. We're actually breaking out. We're actually breaking out of a support / resistance flip on the S&P with a pretty strong candle. So the S&P, structurally speaking, has a little bit more room, a little bit more legs. So that's indicative of a market that is risk averse. The fact that the S&P is outperforming the NASDAQ is telling me that the market's risk averse, but still willing to place bets to the long side. The bulls are definitely showing up here for the S&P. So we could see a rally potentially up to 4,100 on the S&P 500, as long as the dollar continues to fall, which it's looking pretty weak. So that's a positive sign. As that sentiment shift takes place, we were already setting up quite bullish on crypto before we had that incident with Mr. Freed. But yeah, so watch out for that price action. Be very cautious or observant of the price action that gets us back into the range, because we could see a move still up to 30K if we can get back inside of this trading range. So in the coming week, really pay attention to price action. Let's take a look at the biggest risk barometer in crypto. Let's take a look at Doge. Doge is actually showing a very interesting structure from a Wyckoff perspective. Not necessarily a buy, but it's quite interesting where we have found support here. You know, we have had our downtrend, and then we had an accumulation. We got our sign of strength out of the accumulation range, and we have just perfectly tested the automatic rally area. the area that sets the range. The upper end of this trading range has been tested, and now we're even testing above the area of the test. Let's get the... So we're kind of trapped below that area. So watch Doge. You know, I think we could probably consolidate here for maybe a week or so as sentiment begins to return back to the space. A positive possible sentiment that could take place in crypto right now would be that withdrawals are opened back up on FTX. Nothing's 100% yet. You know, nobody has given the official call that FTX is done and everybody and all the user deposits are now don't exist anymore. So I do want to give that little glimmer of hope that, you know, your funds may still be there. It certainly doesn't feel like that right now. It certainly feels as though shit has hit the fan at FTX. Well, shit has hit the fan at FTX, and it's looking as though user deposits are not going back. But I do want to say that it's not a 100% guarantee at this point. There is the small chance that user deposits do get honored, and you know, people could get their funds back. All right, I think that's it for the market update. We'll keep it nice, short, and simple today. So to recap, watch the continuation of the DXY. We want to see continued downside in the DXY. We want to see if Bitcoin can get back inside the trading range. If it cannot, we have lower targets of around $10,000 to $13,000 would be the low end targets if we get a rejection from this range. If we do get back inside, this will be classified as a spring, and if we can break out to the bull side, we might even hit 30K. Can people make withdrawal requests right now? Yes, you can request. A lot of requests are pending. All right, that's all the time I have. Thank you for joining into the stream, and please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.